In today's video, we're going to be covering my team selection ahead of double game week 8. We're also going to be running through all the key stats and data you need to make the best decisions this game week. Now, before we start today's video, if you do enjoy the EFL fantasy content, make sure you are liking, subscribing, and of course getting your comments in, and also dropping me a follow over on Twitter, as I do post quite a lot about this game. First off, let's take a look at some teams I think you should be looking to target over the course of this double game week. Now, pretty much most teams within the game are doubling this week. There are a few exceptions. However, some of the standouts for me, I think Millwall from a defensive perspective definitely could be a team to look to target, with Preston at home, then Cardiff away. Burnley have got a great double against newly promoted Oxford and Plymouth. Notts County facing bottom sides Morecambe and Carlisle could definitely be one, especially with how they've started the season, not only from an attacking standpoint, but also maybe some of their defensive assets might enter some thoughts throughout this game week. Sheffield United as well, they've had a brilliant start back in life in the Championship. They've got newly promoted Portsmouth and Swansea, two of the worst teams for XG conceded. Obviously, there is one big standout player that we will come on to talk to. And then Wrexham, topping League One at the moment. They face Leyton Orient and Stevenage, who have both kind of had pretty slow starts. So they're kind of, I would say, 5 teams that I would be looking to kind of back this week just from looking at the fixtures. Obviously, there's plenty more that I have had to miss out, but those for me as a 5 are a pretty decent set to start off with. Let's move over to some betting data. Obviously, I do post all this over on my Twitter as well, with updated goal projections and stuff like that for each fixture. So do make sure you are going over there and dropping me a follow. First off, let's start off with clean sheet percentages. This, of course, is just for the games at the weekend. The betting data isn't out for those midweek games yet. Millwall with 45% chance. Same with Blackpool. Birmingham, despite a difficult fixture on paper against Peterborough, still fancied to go and get a clean sheet this week. Then we've got Leeds as well. And then after that, it does start to obviously drop off a little bit. But obviously, Millwall and Blackpool and Birmingham, for me, being the standout teams for the weekend for a clean sheet. Moving on to the projected data, of course, we do have Birmingham again topping that list, Blackpool again, so maybe just for those one-off fixtures could be very, very decent. They do have a second game, but both of them a little bit more sketchy. I probably would say I prefer Birmingham's, with it being a home tie against Huddersfield. Notts County up there, obviously they are facing off against Morecambe and did feature in the last section as we saw, and I think Luton down there as well could also be another team that potentially could be worth a conversation as well. They do play on Friday night, so maybe we could utilize that captaincy glitch over that one as well. But yeah, that was the betting data. Let's go and have a look at how I got on in game week 7, and then let's go and look at my team selection ahead of double game week 8. So guys, quickly taking a look at how my team got on in double game week 7. If you didn't know it was a double game week, there was only 3 fixtures, or kind of, I think it was 6 teams in the end that did double in this game week. But as you can see with my rank, we're now up to 356 in the world on this game, by the way. It's just so worth targeting these double game weeks, especially if you can get the captaincy right. As you can see, Poku absolutely smashed it out of the park for us, getting, I think it was 3 attacking returns over the course of this double game week as well. So definitely a player I would be considering going further forward when, you know, Peterborough do face off in some double game weeks. Outside of that, Tickle and the Stevenage defender definitely helping out. However, Huddersfield really stinking it up for us. Corma missing a penalty definitely didn't help, and them not winning either of their fixtures definitely didn't help in terms of point scoring. We probably could have broken into that top 250 if they did decide to turn up, but I think we've got to be blessed and grateful for what we did get. And let's move forward into this game week 8 team selection. Wasting no time, let's dive into my team selection ahead of double game week 8. First off, it is going to be Jensen from Millwall. Like I said, I think at the start I outlined it. I think it's a pretty decent set of fixtures from a defensive perspective. Preston, who haven't really been free-flowing or goal-scoring ability. And then Cardiff as well, who've only managed to score 1 goal so far this season. A 45.5% chance of a clean sheet in their first game. And you would imagine there's probably a good chance of a clean sheet in that second one away at Cardiff. Cardiff as well. So I'm very happy with that pick. Moving into the back line, we're going to go with Clayworth, one of the currently highest scoring players within the game, currently averaging 8.7 points per game, and that is because he is a tackling, blocking machine. And again, they face two sides who've had a very, very slow start to life in League One. Leyton Orient and Stevenage this season really struggling to get to the boil. However, Leyton Orient have seen an upturn in form, and that is slightly putting me off Clayworth with it being an away fixture. But I think with his tackles, interception and blocks, he definitely can pull it back. Next up is going to be Kirkin, again one of the highest scoring players within the game. Sunderland as a side as well are currently 4 for XG conceded, so a very, very good defence, and this guy is capable of blocks, tackles, and of course scoring and assisting, and that is all what we want to see from a defender. They've got, for me, arguably a great double here against Watford and Derby, and again another team I would be considering maybe looking at in terms of investment for this double game week. Heading into the midfield, we're going to start first off with Josh Brownhill. Like I said, I think this is a fantastic double, not only in terms of looking at players, but also as a team in terms of Burnley, because they are facing off against Plymouth, who are 24th for XG conceded, and Oxford, who are 16th for XG conceded. Also 4 goal contributions and 8.5 points per game so far as well. So really, really good stats for Josh Brownhill. Does offer himself up as a decent alternative captain in terms of instead of Crowley. But for me, I absolutely have a soft spot for Daniel Crowley. He's a mega haul monster. Again, averaging 8.5 points over the opening set of games. Notts are currently second for expected goals created as well. They've also created the most chances in the league, but also have managed to miss the most chances in the league. So they may be not as fruitful as they should be, but they are facing against, again, two sides that have found it very, very difficult this season in League Two. And I think with his amazing ability to go and pick up returns, that does make him a very, very valuable captain. My only concern is it is 2 away games, and I might be tempted to flip that armband onto Josh Brownhill, to be honest, rather than Crowley. Next up is going to be Gustavo Hamer, currently averaging 0.47 expecting goal involvements per 90. Again, up against Portsmouth, who are 23rd for XG conceded, and Swansea, who are also sat 20th for XG conceded. So a lot of weak defences that a lot of our midfielders are going to be going up against this week, which is what we like to see. Hopefully there's plenty of goals involved in those games, and our players can definitely contribute in that regard. And then finishing up the lineup, it is going to be Jay Stansfield, as we saw with the projected betting data, 1.76 projected goals for Birmingham against Peterborough. Also, Huddersfield have been pretty abysmal over the past 3 games, losing to Northampton on the weekend. Real shock result, and I would back Birmingham still to be favourites within that game against Huddersfield. Again, they're also averaging 2.2 goals per game, which is absolutely ridiculous. And since joining the club for a record League One fee, he is currently on 3 attacking returns, and I don't expect those to stop this weekend. In terms of our teams, let's quickly run through these. We do have Notts County. Again, I do feel it is a good set of away fixtures for the Magpies in this double game week. And then, like I said, with Burnley facing off against such weak defences, I think they could definitely score 2+ goals, one of them being away as well. If they manage to win that, keep clean sheets, we could be on for a mega haul. Let me know what you think of my team for game week 8, or double game week should I say. And like I said, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribing for more content as well, as there is going to be plenty more EFL fantasy content coming your way. But thank you very much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen, and good luck in double game week 8.